Okay, some more phrasal verbs with be. We did some before and I managed to fill up the board, and I've managed to do it again, and I think there's going to be a part 3. So firstly, when you blurt something out, this means that you say something that perhaps shouldn't have been said, yeah, that you might regret saying as soon as you've said it. So you usually blurt things out when you're drunk, yeah, something like that. Very often you blurt something out when you're drunk, because when we drink, we become very talkative, and we actually say how we truly feel, which might not be what we want to tell people, yeah? So very often you've been bottling feelings up, and when you drink, you blurt them out, yeah? You actually speak honestly about your feelings, and very often that means you say something that you might wish you hadn't said. And that certainly is when you blurt something out. So it's when you say something that perhaps shouldn't have been said. Yeah, and I want you to compare it to cry out, which means make a noise, you know, shout out, yell out. That's all it means. It means make a noise. But if you let something out, it means make a noise and perhaps say something that perhaps you didn't want to say. But also remember, come out with. Yeah, he came out with some really rude remarks. He came out with some embarrassing comments. And I'm saying this just to remind you that out is very often a speaking phrasal verb preposition. Yeah, it's very often used for speech, very often. But yeah, and for noise, yeah, if you're blaring out music or belting out songs, or so out is very often used with sound. You know, you can let the secret out as well, or something like that. Blurt a secret out, certainly. Okay, if something blows you away, yeah, that means that you were really impressed by it. You thought it was fantastic. If you say that film blew me away, or that book blew me away, it means that you thought it was amazing. It was fantastic. You were surprised at how amazing it was. And similar is I was bowled over by the film. I would say that this one is not necessarily something that you really enjoyed. Yeah, you could be bowled over by something that's just neutral. It doesn't have to be something positive. You know, that film blew me away. It means really impressed you. But I was bowled over by the film. I was amazed. Let's put it like that. Taken aback is surprised. Yeah, I was taken aback. I was really surprised. Bowled over also has that element of surprise. But yeah, when something blows you away, it really impresses you. So that's very common nowadays. If there's a storm, a hurricane, a tornado, gale-force winds, yeah, if there's a really strong wind, then several trees might get blown down, blown over. Both the same. By the way, I do prefer fall over rather than fall down when it's people. Yeah, I want to make that very clear, that when you're talking about a person, I think we always say fall over and not fall down, which to me sounds a little bit intentional, like you meant to do it, you meant to fall down. You know, when a football player falls down, I think he's diving. Yeah, he's diving, he's simulating to try to get a free kick. And so be careful, use fall over is my advice when you mean that somebody falls flat on their face, yeah? Say fall over, not fall down. But blow over, blow down, both work here. Several trees were blown over, several trees were blown down in the storm. Now, blow off can just mean fart. That's the old meaning of it, as in, yeah, as in that. Yeah, that used, when I was a kid, that was certainly a blow off. And if somebody blew off, that means that meant they farted. People don't use it so often in that way anymore. It seems to me that it's a little bit archaic, that use of blow off, and it was only used by children when I was a child. It wasn't really used by adults who would just say fart. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend that you use it for fart. But if you blow somebody off or blow something off, even more common, and this is very similar to blow somebody out as well, it means you don't keep your arrangement, your promised arrangement. And some of you will remember that we did this last time with bin something off, which is a really common one nowadays. If maybe you've been invited to a party, but you bin the party off, you bin it off, you sack it off. That one's very common in my local area nowadays, yeah? If you sack something off, you're not going to bother doing it. It's an arrangement that you've decided not to bother with. You sack it off, you bin it off, you blow it off. All three exactly the same synonyms for not keep an arrangement. Yeah, when you've promised to do something or arranged to do something and you don't keep it, you sack it off, you bin it off, you blow it off. And if you want to say that somebody was involved, we often use out then. You know, I blew him out. I blew Peter out when we agreed to meet at the library, but I didn't bother. I didn't arrive, so I blew him out. Okay? But remember that blow out is also used for candles. Yeah, if it's your birthday, you blow out the candles, and that should make sense because you put on the light and you put out the light. Yeah, you turn it on and turn it off, and really you are putting out the light here. And notice that put out means extinguish. Put out your cigarette, extinguish your cigarette. Put out a fire, extinguish the fire. Blow out the candles. Well, aren't you putting them out? Yeah, of course you are. You're extinguishing them, but you're doing it with your breath, so you blow them out. You know, we say blow out, not breathe out, but blow out the candles. You do it on your birthday. Don't forget, put out a fire. Okay, we hope the crisis, the scandal, the argument will soon blow over. This means over time, things get less and less and less important. Yeah, I'm sure you all remember really bad events in your life that seemed awful a few minutes after they happened, but then a year later, and you don't even remember them, you've forgotten about them, because over time, things become less and less important and less painful and less real, if I'm honest. I think the past becomes unreal the further away you get from it. You know, I'm a long way away from being that little baby who was just born, and it seems like an unreal period to me. I can't even think about it clearly. And so the idea here is that things blow over. You can forget about things over time. And of course, over time, scandals do blow over, arguments blow over, crises blow over, in the sense that they're no longer important, nobody's upset about them, nobody's worried about them anymore. And so things blow over, things calm down, and nobody cares about the scandal, the argument, the crisis. Yeah, so this blow over means kind of settle down. Everybody calms down and nobody's upset anymore. Okay, blow up. You got to know this one. Yeah, a bomb blows up. But be careful, because this is an ergative verb, which means it can mean explode or be exploded.